WNIR, hello.
Well, good afternoon.
Hey, Snowman, what's cooking?
You know, the one guy called in and said they closed all the rest there is full of crap.
That's what I thought. I'm like, give me an example. What's he talking about?
On 77 south of Canton, they used to have two scales. What they have done is close scales down. They turned the northbound one into a truck parking only. So they've done a lot. Ohio is very, very truck friendly as far as parking on wide shoulders. There's a place on 30 we all call Sleepy Hill. And because you could just, pull your truck over. They actually paved it, the shoulder, just because they know a lot of trucks park there.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio's friendly when it comes to that. Their DOT isn't friendly because they'll pull you over anywhere, put you on the shoulder, and do an inspection.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would have kept the scales open and they could do them all in there. It's safer for everybody. But there's only
why did they close? Why did they close the scales? I never understood that.
I never did either. I think because financial, having to pay a scale master who generally is not a state trooper, can give a ticket but can't arrest, things like that. But it had to be a revenue thing,
right,
of what it cost.
Mm-hmm.
So they did limit the amount of scale houses, but that actually put more DOT out onto, and PUCO, which still boggles my mind because PUCO.
That's a weird thing. Do they have they still, I know my cousin Jeff up there, when he was out of school years ago, he dated and married a dairy farm girl from by Castalia. The Blue Hole is still there, but I think the guy that owned the Castalia Blue Hole tourist attraction, I think he passed away, but not too far there from Castalia. And he would have to run, every 12 hours and go and get the milk, right? And they would always bust him with those local mobile scales, right? I don't know who was in charge of it. And he said, but they kept fining him and not the company, He's like, the hell with that. I'm not paying the fine,
What's kind of funny is Ohio is real heavy duty on going after coal buckets because they're generally heavy, especially the guys hauling steel scrap. And they authorized minimum of 2 county sheriffs to be able to do level 1 through 3 DOT inspections, along with, when you see the sheriff's pickup truck out there or van, they got the portables. But that's who they target, especially around fall time when it's grain season, because they load them to the gill to get paid by the hundredweight.
Right.
So it is what it is. But for the most part, I'll say Ohio is very truck friendly compared to, let's say, Arkansas. There's a lot of ramps that you could park on in Arkansas, but they got so many damn, no parking signs up right where you would park. They don't want you parking on the shoulders like that. I don't know if they had problems or, maybe Bill Clinton got mad because women were going there. I don't know. But
I did not have sex with that woman in that semi-truck.
You do sound like it. But as far as these companies that are governing their trucks, that is just a danger. When the speed limit is 70 and 75 out west, and a truck is governed back to 65, it just causes problems when you get around any major city where you have a lot of exit and on-ramps for small towns. I don't go to Canada, Ontario, because they can actually plug into your ECM and cut it back to 65. There ain't nobody touching my ECM. Right. My ECM's aftermarket.
Okay, right.
It's set up to get the best fuel mileage and the best speed I can get. It triple-digit truck. I don't run it at that. I don't go over 75 because that's what my damn tires are rated at.
Exactly.
So last thing I want to do is blow out a $500.
The larger question is, Snowman, why in the heck? What's happened in the last decade or so that all of a sudden the the land of the free is now the land of the controlled. They want to. You got to have a battery operated car that can only go 200 miles, and then you know what I mean.
Right.
And they want to control everybody, and now they want to. Sometimes you got to get out and run. If it's 70 mile an hour, okay. When we were coming up from Florida, I'm coming up 75, and I said I had to get out there and to draft at 88 miles an hour. Just to stay up with the traffic. Slower traffic does two things. It's the number one cause of road rage. So said AAA. We had that last at the end of the year. Remember?
Oh yeah.
People get bent out of shape, and like you said, you got people traveling along. This posted 70, and they're averaging 77. Everything's going fine, and all of a sudden, you come up to some slow vehicle, and the whole thing gets gummed up.
Well, I tell you what. A friend of mine, 20 years ago, said two things to me. He said the day, and he curled his hands up, that they're getting tired of us with dirty fingernails coming into the same restaurant as people that are CEOs. They don't want that because they're a class ahead in their mind. And he was right. And the other thing he said is, I'll never forget the way he worded it. This world is going to turn into hooray for me and F you.
Yeah.
And that is, each year it gets worse because you're right. Traffic's moving along great at 70 mile an hour at a posted 65. And you always have that one idiot that's 55 or that other idiot that's doing 90.
Yep.
It makes no sense. I mean, nobody looks ahead. I shouldn't say that. A lot of people don't look ahead to see the ramps, who's merging, who's doing this, who's doing that, because of them being on their cell phone. That's why I'm all for making that a tier 1 where they can pull you over. I mean, I got a cell phone. Mm-hmm. I'm in my truck. I have a headset.
Right.
I fought the whole headset thing back in 12 when it was mandated. Now I use it for everything. I can cook. I can work on my Harleys. I can do anything. I don't ever hold my phone up. I love this thing. I really do. I got multiple ones.
I went, Jillian, Dad, you need to come into the 21st century. So for Christmas, she got me those earbuds. I've been watching people for years. I would see them on TV interviewing on Skype, and they'd have the white, I thought they were Apple, and I don't have Apple. The little hoopties that go in their ear.
Yeah.
And I got them, and to this day, I can't open that clamshell. I don't know how to open the little charger thing, but that's a whole other thing. So at the swimming meets, the echoing, you know what it's like, the whistles, man, it can make your ears echo and ring. And so putting those in would damper that. But I took them out, and like an idiot, because I didn't think to take a alcohol swab and wipe off the things when I jammed in my ear. Next thing you know, a week later, I'm off work for a week, so I got an ear infection. I'm on a penicillin. I don't know if that's what caused it, but when you go through and look at your life and what have I done differently in the last month that I haven't done in the last 12 months? It was the only variable introduced, right? And so I don't know. I'm laying it at that. But I do like the, they're what I don't know what you call them, earbuds or whatever, But
mine goes over the ear, and the microphone comes clear down in front of my mouth. Oh well,
yeah, one of those things, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then people when I first got it, they said, "Well, everybody can see that," and I said, "Well, would you like fries with that?" I could care less, but I don't like sticking anything in my ears at all.
Exactly.
For that reason,
yeah,
what you just said. So I'm talking on it right now. Sitting down here in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Got to leave in the morning. Ain't delivering until Monday out in New Mexico. And but hell, I got it on right now, and I'm sitting here drinking Black Rifle coffee, talking to John.
The military-based Black Rifle coffee, right? Remember what Trump said a couple months ago about.
But I will tell you, they want to take your car industry away. They're going to take it away. They're going to do the electric vehicle nonsense. You drive. You put a little little circle around your house. You can't go outside the circle. You'll never come back. You can drive it. The first 10 minutes is one of the greatest feelings on earth. The next hour, you're in trauma, thinking about where the hell are you going to have the car charged. Oh, you had that.
Oh, he's great, man. He's great.
He just gets right to it. You know what I mean?
He does.
Did you hear Biden?
Does.
I didn't even play it. Joe Biden somewhere. Did you hear him mumbling about the middle class or whatever? Jesse was playing it last night, and then Gutfeld played it later. And I mean, just compare Donald Trump live, without a net, and Joe Biden trying to read a teleprompter. And it's just, it's going to be a bumpy next 10 or 12 months or 10 months or so, But on this day, 1935, Snowman, around Alliance, Ohio, probably your neck of the woods. No, in 1935, the first can of beer was sold. 2 hours later, the first crush can on somebody's forehead, like Belushi did. Can you believe it's been that long? A can of beer was, and then why do they call it that little church key opener with the little one end of it's pointed and the others for pop bottles? It's called the church key. Do you remember why they called it that?
I don't know why they called it that, but I was the guy that would open beer bottles with the back of my teeth.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The back of your teeth?
Yeah, you stick it in the corner of your mouth, back on your molar.
Oh, no. Oh, man, no. I didn't mess with my teeth. My old man said, we gave up a week's vacation to get you that dental plan for those braces. You better not have your teeth chipped, or you better take care of your teeth. I gave up a week's vacation for that. It's a steel mill. 46 years ago today, the deadly blizzard of 78 piled snowdrifts 10 feet high, Snowman, led to 51 deaths. Huh?
I know exactly where I was when that happened. Heritage Hall at Baldwin Wallace.
Really?
Yep. When that snowstorm hit, we were up there at Heritage Hall, ATOs, looking out, going, I ain't going out there.
Yeah.
Right. Ain't no reason for me to go out there. We could still burn wood at our corner of Heritage Hall because we didn't have an actual house. So they had four corners, and all the frats, 4 of the frats were right there. In fact, when they were organizing Greg Pruitt come down when they were organizing a black-only fraternity. And that's when I met the guy. And pound for pound, one of the strongest men I've ever
Greg
met.
Pruitt, unbelievable. The Akron-Canton Airport recorded peak gusts of 76 miles an hour. Basically, it was a hurricane, low pressure that came in from the south. It was the lowest pressure. My dad's got it, speaking of dad, on the back of the barometer. He wrote on it that it was like, but it was basically a hurricane, 76 miles an hour at 5:12 p.m. at Akron-Canton Airport. Remember all the airplanes, the small Cessnas down at Harry Clever Field in New Philly, I remember. We drove past a couple of days later. They didn't have them strapped down, and these things just blew all over. John Glenn at Port Columbus Airport at the time, record peaks is 69 miles an hour. And I was at 314 West Schaefer Avenue in Dover, Ohio, and I shoveled out. I remember Kenny next door. He was Ray C. Call, diesel mechanic, and he had the truck at the house there that had the little crane in the back. He's the guy that you would call back in the day, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So, and the semis needed him, so we made sure we had him shoveled out. And of course, the driveway dad still had to go over to the mill. And then they did shut the mill down because we were running out of natural gas, remember?
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you.
It was bad, man.
We piled 8 of us, me and 7 others. I had a 55 panel wagon. Mm-hmm. And we with 3 speed on the column, 3 speed on the tree. It actually had a foot starter. Turned the key on, you had to hit, and we just drove around up by Hopkins and went up to Burke Lakefront because that thing can plow through anything. Mm-hmm. In fact, we took that on a trip. I talked some boys into for spring break. Oh, shoot. 1, 2, 3, 5 of my frat brothers. Everybody used to go to Fort Lauderdale. I said, let's go to California.
Oh, my gosh.
We made it as far as Tucson and ran out of money.
No, what's that? That's never been to Spain. I headed out to Las Vegas, only made it to Needles or what, right?
we went to Tucson, and everybody called home to get money wired.
Yeah, hey, we've all been there at one point or another. But
my old man, when he answered the phone, and I told him, I said, this is what we're doing. The only thing he did was laugh and hang up.
Yeah, exactly. You're on your own, son. Welcome to,
Pretty much.
That's it, yeah. All right, so it's good to hear from you. Be careful, okay?
Thanks.
We'll see you. All right, we'll be right back.